Hello, it's me again. Today I'm going to be doing a video on how to buy your first property. Ta-da! Why am I making this video? Well, I'm making this video because I'm in the process of buying two property. One is a sub-sale property and another is an undercon property. And actually, looking at me, young face, this and that, you will know that I'm actually a beginner. It's my first time buying a home and I'm thinking of buying two at the same time. So it's a very sharp learning curve that I'm going through and I really learn a lot, and I wish somebody have taught me what I know now about buying a property, and that's what I'm going to be sharing with you in this video. So basically, there are two types of properties that you can buy. There's number one, sub-sale, which is what we are looking at here. This is like a second-hand house, like a fully built house that is already bought by someone that you just come and you can see everything. Just in short, sub-sale is something that's already built and you get what you see, and it's actually safer, lesser risk, because most of the uncertainty unknown is already done. It doesn't mean it's always more expensive, it just means there's less uncertainty. Whereas undercon, usually you can get it at a cheaper price because there's promotion, rebate, this and that, right? And then, but the risk is higher because the project may delay, and then some of the things promised are not built. It's all concept, right? But this one, you get what you see. So today, because undercon cannot show you, right? So that's why I'm showing you how we are going about looking at this sub-sale property before we choose whether to buy it or not. So this is the property that we are buying. It's a cluster home at a place which I don't really want to tell you where it is, but why am I buying this house? Because first, I found it on, how's the process of me, in the end, in the process of buying this house? Number one, I found it on iProperty and it looks cheap in comparison to other homes being sold at the same location, this area. So that's number one. Second thing, it looks like a pretty decent house, right? Have a look. Nowadays, to get this kind of house in Johor, this area is Johor, you have to pay about more than $1 million. But this house is being sold for about 830,000. So it seems cheap in comparison. So I think, wow, that's why we want to inspect this property. So one of the things that you need to inspect is to inspect if there's anything that is, broken or what. So for example, during inspection, we found that there is a hole on the roof. And these are one of the things that you might want to point out to the homeowner, and maybe he can fix for you, or you can lower down the price of the house. Another thing that we check is what is the previous price transacted to buy this house and what is the current price. And when we check, actually this house was bought about 2 years ago at roughly the same price. So there's very little appreciation, and actually the previous owner actually lost some money in terms of interest and this and that. So maybe what we are thinking is probably the fella is selling because he has no holding power anymore, because he is maybe buying to flip, or maybe there's some financial situation, whatever. So now you know the importance of holding power, right? You must have the ability, or you must buy something that you can truly afford. Otherwise, when you have no holding power, you might have to sell at a loss, just like as in stock market investment. And finally, the big reason why I think this property is a good buy is because of potential growth, right? So the value of a property can differ based on several factors, like is there amenities, like facilities, like school nearby, this and that. And one of the big booster for this property is there is a new mall being built, Aeon, right? That is just opened 2 days ago, right? It's Aeon Bandar Dato' On, and luckily I've already signed the form and secured the price, and I think the housing prices at this area will appreciate really soon due to that mall. Alright, so just a summary of the few steps, early steps that you have to go through when you buy a sub-sale property. First, you view and compare the house and see if it's right? You check whether there's defects, whether the pricing is nice, whether it's a good neighborhood, check all those things, right? Then once you have that and you are really satisfied, the second step is you go and approach an agent and view the house, right? And then everything. Then right after that, if you are sure and you're ready to buy, what you have to do is you have to sign something called like an option form or option letter. That letter says that you can buy this house at this price, right? And when you sign that letter, you have to put in a 2% deposit. So when you buy a sub-sale house, you have to prepare about 2% of the housing price, as a 2% deposit to secure that price while you go and get your loan. If the loan cannot pass, then you might have to be forfeited 1% of the deposit. So you have to be careful about that. And that's step number 2. Now, step number 1, view property. Step number 2, secure that, write the option. And then step number 3 is send in as many loan applications as possible. The best one that you want is one that is giving you the highest borrowed money. That means you don't have to put in as much upfront, and one that has the lowest interest rate. So both of these, right? You can borrow the most and at the lowest, interest, right? And one of the things that you might be interested if you're an investor is to mark up the housing prices, so that when you mark up, you can borrow more and you don't have to put in as much money upfront to buy the property. Now, why do we do it? Because as investor, our money can be generated into higher return than the 4 or 5% interest rate from the bank, right? So that's why you want to mark up so that we use less cash, and that cash can be used to invest elsewhere. And that's all I want to say to you in this video. I hope this video is informative enough for you to buy your first property. So view the property, put in a 2%, send in as many loan application as possible. In the next video, I'll be showing you, what kind of loan, and there's one thing called MLTA, insurance for your home loan. I'll be explaining that as well as legal fee, this and that. That will be shown to you in the next video. Like our page to subscribe, and you get notified when the next video is out. Thank you.